Hey guys, welcome back. Outlaw here with another build that should be outlawed. This time we're taking a look at the TvT matchup, and this is getting just a little cheesy. Here we go with my strategy, and it will be the Proxy Racks Proxy Factory build. You'll see exactly what goes on in this build pretty soon here. Focusing on my opponent, focusing on me. Here we go. So, right around 9 supply, you're going to go ahead and send your SCV way out there to the proxy location. That's right, you were going to proxy that, and this is Arid Plateau, so I'm going to put it in the top right. He won't really scout there too often. Continue to make SCVs all the while. I decide, no, I'll make an SCV at the front there, right at the typical 10 supply mark. So just remember, 9 supply, you send a worker to the proxy spot, and then you build supply depot. Keep on making SCVs, and I think I just barely get supply blocked. I could have just built that supply depot right next to my base and make it look even more like I was going for a 1-rack expand. Apparently additional supply depots are required. Let's go ahead and eventually you will place down that barracks at 12 supply like normal. See? Nice timings. It seems very fair. And just keep making SCVs, keep making SCVs, keep making SCVs. Since it's a 2-player map, I like to do it on 2-player maps because you don't want to scout with your proxy unit. Plus, it allows for a few more hiding places. There you go, gas on 13 because you will be spending a lot of it. And here we go, continuing to make SCVs. And on 15, that's usually around the time when that barracks is complete. So after this SCV, I am simply going to make a orbital command. Now once that gas finishes, of course you're going to send the workers over to gas, preferably 3. And there's the orbital command. Any second now, there it is. And now making a marine. Now that SCV, when he has the opportunity to, once the orbital command is just about done, that's when you put down your factory. Gonna have to build another supply depot because we are getting pretty high in the supply count now. Especially as the Marines are starting to come out as well. That SCV chased the scout out, no big deal. He doesn't know exactly what's going on just yet. First Marine kind of set on a bad rally. I don't want to send him out too far. But there we go. Make an SCV, send out a mule. You're making one more Marine, but also a factory here, when I'm able to afford it. 2 Marines, and there you go. There's the factory. Works out pretty well. Another SCV in a second. So I'm a little bit behind. Got a little bit behind because of the timings. That gas was maybe a little late. But yeah, there you go. Boom! Once you're able to afford it, reactor on the barracks. Reactor on the barracks is important because you're going to get out as many Marines as you can. And I take a second guess at about this supply right after you get the factory, just so that you can make sure you have enough gas when the attack does push out. And it'll work out really well if you're doing it right. Keep making SCVs, and this is almost that part where you stop making SCVs, send SCVs over to your other gas, and now you will be mining on 2. Now, your opponent thinks you're expanding, so he's probably expanded as well at this point. But once that factory is done, build a tech lab, and of course, once it's done, you are going to end up getting siege mode finished. And keep calling down mules. There we go. Getting really close to this part. Now, notice how I sent my SCV out. I sent him out due to the fact that I want him to build a proxy barracks over here. He won't see it yet, but build a barracks and you're eventually going to lift him off and strike at these units from a distance. My opponent did decide to go for that expand like I thought. Now starting siege mode, continuing to make Marines and make tanks. Keep building supply depots so you don't get supply blocked. And this is, like I said, right around that limit where I don't need to be making too many more SCVs. I've got plenty of minerals to be able to afford siege tanks as soon as I need it. Boom, perfect. 1 siege tank out. I do make a bad rally with this factory. I don't know why I didn't hotkey it sooner. But yes, those Marines gonna move out at a good time. These Marines kind of checking these Zelnagas, and they are just out of position. So they are in a safe spot. That barracks is eventually going to finish. And look at this. As soon as that second siege tank finishes, that's when we send things out. It was very inappropriate. Hopefully that message doesn't show up in the video. And now, here we go. Those Marines and tanks are moving out. This barracks is going to lift off. His army isn't ready to respond to this just yet because he did go for that expand. He did fall for it. you're going to siege up your tanks right around here, and all of a sudden this barracks is going to do a lot of vision for you. You'll be able to see a whole lot. And there it is. And now you're starting to fire on him. So the siege tank is in a good spot. I forgot my other siege tank, but he'll come in sooner or later. Now, I am doing a lot of damage with siege mode here, but it's these marines that will actually do a lot of damage as well. Everyone tries to drop on this, but not going to happen. There are marines there to defend it, as the siege tank's really starting to do a whole lot. The second tank is going to show up, more marines on the way, and this is just a really aggressive timing attack that catches your opponent off guard. And yeah, there you go. He even went for the expand. I'm going to take out the tech lab so he can't get too many more units out. But he doesn't really need it that much. These Hellions are going to try and do some damage to these tanks, but no, those tanks are going to toast and roast everyone. There it is, GG. And there you go. I am going to do the G space, G enter G, because it was good and game. Well, that wraps up the Proxy Barracks Proxy Factory build. It is a really fun build and catches your opponents way off guard. Just remember, you want the timings to be pretty much the same. You've got your 14, or you've got your, 10 supply depot, 12 barracks. Once it's finished, you'll make, obviously a marine and an orbital command. Get that refinery at 14, however. Then put down your factory after your orbital command is finished, and then another, put a tech lab on that. So you have a reactor on your barracks, tech lab on your factory. You have your double gas at that point, and you should basically be able to start siege mode and your first siege tank at about the same time. That being said, this wraps up my TvT build. This is a build that should be outlawed. I'm going to come up with some more videos and some better intros next time. Hopefully we can get this to you and the audio is okay. Other than that, this is the one, the only outlaw leaving this build with you. Have fun on the ladder, and goodbye.